Hi, and welcome to another BurningMonkey.net tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be demonstrating how to create a folder for Dreamweaver and your website. So first, we're going to create a folder. Go ahead, right-click, click on New, Folder, and we're going to go ahead and name it whatever your website's going to be. And if it's a really long name, I would not suggest that. And if you're going to do it, use underscore, especially if there's a break. Don't use like ASDF space, whatever you're gonna use. Use a underscore and then continue. Okay. For this, I'm just gonna name it example. And inside this folder is gonna be housing your entire website. So the one item that's gonna be here is gonna be your index.html file. You're also gonna have a folder, maybe, perhaps, an assets folder where you're going to keep pictures, music, documents, depending on what your website is going to be about. And inside this folder is going to be other websites that are going to be linking to your page, depending on how you're going to set up your website. So inside this folder, that's all you have to do for now. It's just create a folder. And now we're going to create the files, or a file that's going to go inside your folder. So open up Dreamweaver. I already have it opened up, and now this is a different page that I've made earlier. So the thing you're going to go is you're going to go right up here to Site, and that's located at the top menu. You're going to go click on Site, and you're going to say Manage Site. You can either click on Manage Site, or you can click on New Site. New Site would automatically set up, open up that Setup tab to the new site, or if you like the other way, you can go click on Site and then Manage Sites, which then shows you all the previous sites that you have set up already. So for this example, I'm going to go ahead and click on New Site, and this is where we're going to set up. So site name, that's exactly what it is. Here you don't have to worry about underscore or anything like that. I type in your website exactly how you want the name to be. So here I'm just going to do capital example like that. And now local site folder, this is basically saying where is this website stored on your computer. So when you hear a local site folder or local folder, that means that it's not on a server, it's not anywhere stored in the cloud, it's right on your computer. So we're going to go click on this, and we're going to go to desktop and click on example. And as soon as you click on example, it says choose root folder. So if I had another folder within a folder, an example, so this example folder, if I had another folder and I wanted that one to be the main folder, I would click on that one and click select. So now that I have example, click select. And you can also double click and check this by seeing here it says desktop/example, and I know that's exactly what it is. And here's site name example. It doesn't like it, so I'm going to go ahead and just lowercase example, example 2. I think it's because I already had one, a site earlier named example. So now I'm just going to go ahead and name it example 2. Click on save, and that's pretty much all you have to do here at this point. Now if you wanted to set up an FTP server, then that's a whole different story. We would continue editing the settings here in the edit tab, but that's all you have to do for now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on done. And I've noticed over here, before it said example 1 or example no 2, and now it says example 2. And here's all the FTP stuff. And as you'll notice right now, our file is empty, so there's nothing here. So what you're going to do is if you have this already open, you can go ahead and click create new, and you're going to click on HTML. We're not going to do Cold Fusion or PHP or CSS or JavaScript or any of the rest of things. You're going to go ahead and just click HTML. Now you'll still notice that there's no file here yet in the local files. Reason being is we haven't saved anything yet. So I'm going to go ahead and type in hello world, and as you'll notice that there's an asterisk right here where it says untitled, and you'll notice that the title says untitled document here. This is the actual website that's going to show at the top of your page on a tab. So for this example, I'm going to go ahead and type in Goofy, and I will change it after just to demonstrate that you can change the title at any time. Go ahead and click Control S or Command S, and if you don't want to use any shortcut keys, you can go ahead and click on top file, click save or save as. Save as can help you save another version of your file just by adding a number after it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on save. And as you'll notice that when I click on the hierarchy, it's desktop example. I'm going to go ahead and name this index and then go ahead and click save. And the reason why you want to use index is that, or especially for your first file, is that when you upload this file to your FTP server, it's going to be looking for index.html. If you don't have this, if it's named something else, then it won't pick it up and your main page will be a blank page, which you don't want that to happen. So now it's saved, and if we go to your folder, now you'll see example, and there it is, index.html. Okay, so now we can go ahead and test this out. We can click on live view and you'll see hello world. And the one thing that you want to do though, because as you're editing, you're going to be changing things. You want to click on preview, this little earth icon, and click on preview in Firefox. And you could also use a shortcut key F12. And many of these things have shortcut keys, so once you get more familiar, you're going to go ahead and begin to use these shortcut keys. So as you can see, at the top of the tab says Goofy, and we have our hello world text. And as you noticed, I haven't touched a single bit of code, which is good for us people that don't like to use a lot of code and like to just visualize things. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and change the name of the title example. And we can even change here, so you see hello world, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm in the text tab, so right now you might have common, you might be like, well, so all you gotta do is just click on these tabs at the top, and you don't have to click through all of them, you can just click on the one that you want. Right now I'm going to select text, and I'm going to click on H1. Now this stands for heading 1, which is in coding or in HTML coding, it's the text that makes for the heading. It's basically the font that makes it big. I don't know what to say, but yeah, it's just a heading text, like on magazines or on newspapers. That's all it does, is makes the heading bigger. And of course, the higher the number, it makes it smaller. So remember that, and you can just play around. And as you see there, go ahead and click on live view. You can see that it updated, and click live view, and then go ahead and click on preview in Firefox, and you'll see that the title has now changed to example and hello world. And if you wanted to kind of understand a little bit better of what's going on in the code, so you learn some code, so you're not always dependent on the program, it's really good to see that, oh, title, and then so the code for this title is title, and then here example, that's where this is going. This is what this is affecting. As you can see, with code you always have to do a backslash, and that basically closes the line of text, or the line of code, sorry. And so if we can be in code view, and we can change the title here, and we go ahead and change both of them. So we'll change the title to, this is the title, there we go, and hello world, hi Bob. And we'll see what happens when we go ahead and go to design view. Hello world, hi Bob. Title here has changed. This is the title now. And when we go ahead and preview in Firefox, and you remember you always have to be saving in order to preview it in your web browser. So if you're making huge changes, you don't want to click save. You're going to click no. I'm going to go ahead and file. That's cool. Let's see. So apparently it showed up. And the reason why this, as you can see, the changes have not been made because you have not saved a file. So in order to keep both files, this is just an example. I'm going to hit click file, save as, and that would be like index v2. Click save, and then the n, whichever one you choose, rename it back to index.html, because the server, FTP server, is not going to be looking for the version 2 or version 3 and so forth and so on. It's only going to be looking for index.html. So here you have index v2. Now if I open this, you'll notice it says hello world, hi Bob, and now this is the title. It has changed itself to that. And now if we open index.html, it's the same thing that we had before. So now I'm going to go ahead and close all of that. And you'll notice that you also have now another file. Now these, you don't have to worry about spacing, amount of memory, because these files are not that big. As you can see, the size, the file size right now is at 1 kilobyte. Reason being is that these files are only storing the code. They're not really storing the images, not storing huge amounts of memory. So this code is going to be referencing where that image is being stored at. So whatever this code is going to memorize, it's just going to know, okay, so this file needs to be accessed and it's going to be this big by this wide. And that's all this file is ever going to know. And so you don't have to worry about how big the file is, because at max it's going to be probably about 5 megabytes or maybe less, give or take. Most likely it's going to be less than that, which is good. The files that are going to have, they're going to be a lot more, are going to be the pictures, your images, your videos, your sound files, if any. And the other thing we want to do here is create a asset folder. So new, go ahead and right click on that, right? Click on new folder, and we're going to name this assets. And this is where it's a lot easier to keep all your pictures. So within this folder you can make a new folder if you want to with pictures and separate them with music files and docs. So you have a nice place where all of these pictures are being located at. So now you have example, we have an asset in here, and we have no assets yet, but if we were to get some, which I just did by dragging and dropping them from your folder to this file, from folder to folder, So just drag whatever pictures you want to have in your website and put them in the assets folder as I have here. So now we're going to go back to design view, and just going to demonstrate quickly that you can just drag and drop an image. Let's go ahead and put this one in there into your Dreamweaver, and alternate text is basically what's going to demonstrate when you highlight the picture. So this is an about me picture, so I'm just going to do about me. And when it's being highlighted, it'll show about me, not in this view, maybe when I hit preview. No, doesn't show it here. Maybe when I preview in Firefox, it will. We'll go ahead and click yes. Nope, it's not showing. But if you click on view image info, there it is, associated text about me. Okay, so with that, that's how easy that was. And now I just want to demonstrate that the file size of the index.html file is still at 1 kilobyte. So that's really cool. And I'm going to go ahead and import now a bigger picture just to demonstrate that the file size still won't change if at all. So I'm going to go ahead and go to common in this tab, the common tab, and then click on the image. But there are various options they can choose, like image placeholder, rollover images. And reason why you would want to use image placeholder over image is just to kind of, for layout purposes, sometimes the client will not give you the pictures. They'll be like, okay, I have a couple of pictures that I want to add to the website, but I don't have them with me right now. And then they demonstrate on the website where they would like them. They're like, oh, that's not a problem. We can mock them up, and then you can tell them, well, what kind of size or what size are you thinking about putting them at? And this is where you'd be like, okay, this is where the I don't know, the bio image will go. So if you were doing like a biography or something, and then the size, the width and height, you'd be like, okay, let's make it a 450. And this is where knowing pixels and sizes are really good. Now we'll just do square, 450 by 450. And then if you wanted a color, alternate text, again, alternate text is what's the image going to show when you highlight it with your mouse. And this could be like, I don't know, my bio picture. Just to put that in there, as you can see, bio image is the file that would go there. And if you wanted to link it, at the bottom here, you got the Properties tab. Go ahead and, as you see, SRC, that stands for Source. We're going to go ahead and click, and let's see, we should be able to link it. Oh, there you go. Now it updated. Sometimes if it doesn't update, just click refresh and it'll update all the assets that are there. Then you can go ahead and click the plus button. Now we're going to go ahead and click on this little crosshair here. Click and hold your mouse until you get to the picture that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and select this one, the balloons. Now you'll notice that the picture has changed size to the original size. So if you wanted to change it or scale it up, we can go down here in the properties, as you can see down here, width and height, and change that to the desired height. And as you see, if you scale up a small picture, of course you're going to get pixelation. But there you go. And then when we go ahead and save it, we can just click on the browser, the preview in browser, the little earth, or hit press F12, and it'll automatically ask you, do you want to save, and you just hit yes. It's as opposed to Control S, which is also a lot easier, or File Save. So as you can see, we have two pictures now. Of course, that picture is a tiny one, so you're not really going to get like a lot of memory. But now let's go ahead and import one that's is a lot bigger. So I'm going to click on Image. And now it's going to go Assets folder, and then this picture. As you can see, it even tells you image preview, and the size of this picture is 2550 by 3300, and it tells you it's at 387 kilobytes. Go ahead and click OK, and we say big. And if we scroll down, you'll see that this picture is huge. And let's say you did import a huge picture and you wanted to see exactly what it looked like. But your screen is a small screen. You can change down here, just right here, there's a little magnifying glass, and there's 100%. You can change that to the percentage, so 25 will show more. And as you'll see, you can barely read the hello world. So you can see and preview your website a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and save this and then see if our page has changed. So click yes. And you can see now the picture is huge, and you'll see how nice, clean, and crisp this actually shows, which is good. Now remember that even though our index.html file, I'm going to go ahead and refresh this just in case. Even though our HTML is still 1 kilobyte, that doesn't mean that it's going to load really fast on when people watch or view your website. The FTP server, when all these things are accessed, the people that are viewing the website have to download the About Me. They have to load this image and this extremely huge image. Now the good thing is that if you're using and you do things right, like this image, it's only 300 something kilobytes, so that won't really take that long to load. However, if someone has a really extremely slow connection, they're still using dial-up, they will have a hard time loading this picture, this website. So just keep that in mind as you're making this website. Alright, so that's it for this tutorial. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this, and remember that all you have to do is just create, play around with all these settings. There's a ton of things, a ton of ways that you can attack your project. For instance, I could have went into the code and typed in image source, put in this code, the width, the height, alternate text if you want to add that, and so on and so forth. So just remember that you can do it various ways, however you like to. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and always take care.